What's up? You're watching my favorite YouTube channel, and dearly beloved, we are gathered here today because Simu Liu decided to tweet this. He says, "Flop so hard, we got a sequel." He says that I love it. That just the attitude coming from him. It comes with negative and baggage because it does mean that you are watching those videos or consuming the hate bait type of people. Maybe it's all over your Twitter, and if you're reading your notifications as a celebrity, highly recommend not doing that as a celebrity. Protect your mental health and watch your own, what you consume. But Flop so hard, yeah, that was his little comeback. $431 million in the box office for that first film. It had a great domestic showing compared to an international showing, according to Box Office Mojo. That's what I'm quoting. We're getting a sequel, and he linked to the Variety article like a dummy. It was actually Deadline who broke the thing. I actually read the whole Variety thing, and it says, "Well, we got our information from Deadline. Thanks for putting that at the bottom of your article, Variety. Here is Deadline. Destin Daniel Cretton inks an overall deal with Marvel Studios and Hulu's Onyx Collectives, set for Disney Plus MCU series and Shang-Chi sequel. It's an exclusive. The Shang-Chi filmmaker has entered it. I just said that. The filmmaker is already in development with Marvel Studios on a new MCU series for Disney Plus. What? That's great news. That means we'll get it in 2023, right? If it's in development now, maybe they start filming it in 22. It could be development for a long time, but that's great. What is it going to be? Probably the Legend of the Ten Rings continuation story with the sister of Shang-Chi and that whole cast and crew. I'd be surprised if it's not. At the same time, Disney has made it official that Cretton is returning to write and direct the previously rumored sequel to Shang-Chi. Awesome news. There. That's the article. Basically, they'll get into more the minutia of this deal, no, actually they won't, but they'll talk more. But that's what we got here from this article, that we're getting a new series, we're getting a new film. It's valid. We're going to see Kevin Feige speak on it later on. Let's just jump to that part. It says here, Destin is a powerhouse storyteller with impeccable taste in material. Oh, that's not Kevin Feige. That's Tara Duncan. Shang-Chi, starring Lee Min-ho, represents the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that is led by an Asian director and mostly Asian cast. This is the part of the video where I stop everything and I directly talk about that thing there. That's not a positive news story. That's negative. This is the 25th Marvel film, and it's the first time you're able to say that. About one third of the world, billions of human beings, look that way, right? Monolids, and you neglected them. That's not okay. It's not just a 2021 thing, of course, but maybe this would be a new story in 1960 and something significant. But when we use Marvel standards and we can blame Ike Perlmutter for this, let's do that. This is the part where we blame people like Perlmutter, your fault. The 25th movie with an Asian lead, You can say, oh, but Marvel's characters mostly are white guys. Okay, but then that excuse runs dry around movie number 10. Not a good thing. I'm sure the spin was, oh, it's a great thing. Look at the Asian people. Yeah. Not here on Chillmonger. We call out stupidity. The film, which opened over Labor Day weekend, is the highest grossing domestic release to date. Yeah, that's right, because Shang-Chi made more than freaking Eternals, and Fast and Furious was great because they had a Chinese release. Shang-Chi didn't, ironically. Like, this would have been huge over there. Um, and Eternals is sitting at like 380 something million right now. So I don't know. Is it a flop if it doesn't reach 400? That sounds like a burning question that I might have to ask this Saturday if I'm doing Marvel. With 224 million currently, yep. The movie Labor Day opening set the record. That's awesome. Repped a rebound for the pandemic box office. Yet it encouraged rival studios to keep their event releases scheduled throughout the remainder of the year in cinemas during the pandemic, as moviegoers made a point to return. That's right. It was the Marvel movie that made people come out and popped their cherry so they could return to the theaters. Worldwide, Shang-Chi grossed 432 million. Destin, this is Feige talking now. He's an amazing collaborator who brought a unique perspective and skill to Shang-Chi. We had a fantastic time working together on the film. Good. And he has so many intriguing ideas for stories to bring to life on Disney Plus. So we're thrilled to expand our relationship. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm sure he's going to say something somewhere down here. There are no details about Marvel series Cretton is working on for Disney Plus. Yeah, there is. At the end of the Shang-Chi movie, they said the 10 rings will return. That's details, bro. And then at the Disney streamer, Cretton also has American Born Chinese, an action comedy based in the 2006 graphic novel by Jean Lewin Yang. They don't say this, but Yang is currently writing Shang-Chi Marvel comic books. Here he is. He says that working on Shang-Chi with Kevin and Marvel was one of the highlights of my life, yada, yada, yada. Tara, I'm going to do great thing, build new words. I'm excited, yada, yada, yada. That's the whole article, basically. Okay. As a person who wants to see more Shang-Chi, good. And he's getting his own solo movie, good. That's what I'm talking about. I want him more. I like Simu Liu, not just because he tweets and claps back, but it's like he's one of us. How do you feel about this news? Is it a victory? I feel like it's a victory. I feel like what's it gonna make next time we go to the theaters when there isn't a virus that's, or there will always be the virus, I should say, when scare and fear mongering from the news and Omicron, what do we know? We know nothing. When all that dies down and everyone's just like, yeah, pretty sure I know how I'm gonna maneuver. When that's over, this movie's going to be making $1 billion. The sequel is going to be a hit. Hopefully, the Chinese box office can open. That's such an unknown, guys. This original film did not have a Chinese release. If it had that, how it would have reached $1 billion. I said this before. Avengers Endgame represents the ceiling of Marvel films and what they could do in China. It was somewhere like $800 million. Okay, Infinity War was really high up there too. Then we get a movie like F9, which made $200 million in this pandemic era. You're telling me Shang-Chi wasn't going to make 200 million? Right now it's sitting at a 432, global box office release. That's they could have gotten 400 from China alone, don't you think? Wouldn't you think? I'm sure when the movie was being pitched, they had this in mind, and of course the world had to be what the world did. We threw a curveball. But this movie, you got to do a sequel, and you got to repair the relationship that you currently got with China. It looks like it is because the Spider-Man No Way Home film will release in China. That's good news. Maybe that's more on Sony's part. I don't know what they have against Disney because it feels like every Disney movie isn't releasing in China, but that's really nothing to do with this film. If it only releases in a domestic and other countries that are not China, even then, it's a worthwhile. You drop only 150 on the budget of the film, maybe another 100 million on marketing. It's profitable. That's my thoughts on that. If you like Pocket Monsters, go ahead and check out this video here where we rank the starters with my friend Halogen Helix and Imperial Jess. If you like Marvel or Star Wars burning questions, go check out this video here because I'll be doing Marvel this Saturday on my stream on my channel. Peace out, everyone.